Merry Clickmas. So we'll start here, we'll scroll on down, and where is it at? So we are going to, bam, there it is. So this one's for phishing, Merry Clickmas. Gotta love the name. Okay, so this one here is going to be about phishing. So you guys might know phishing as in you get a scam email and they're trying to pull something from you. So phishing is part of social engineering. And social engineering is something that malicious people, threat actors, will utilize to trick or convince somebody to divulge information that they really shouldn't. That generally has some kind of confidential privacy, some kind of value that they may not want to just share with anyone. First name, last name, telephone number, address, password to your banking information, things like that, right? So the first thing we want to do is come down here and we want to click Start Attack Box and then click Start Machine. Okay? Cool. While that's running, I'm going to read the introduction. And this does our split terminal. So, for our little story, in light of several recent cybersecurity threats against the best festival company, TBSE, the local red team has scheduled several penetration tests. The red teamers proceed to carry out regular penetration tests against TBFC. For this part of the exercise is to ensure that the employees are vigilant when they're clicking through links and that the company is well protected against the most latest phishing attacks. This type of authorized phishing is a way to prove that our security measures, our security posture and behavior and security awareness training is actually being fruitful and is showing results. We're yielding proof that it is working because we can test from year after year or whatever our metric is that we are getting better. Alright, so in this task, we'll be part of the TBFC's local red teaming team. And the elves will be for Recon McRed, Exploit McRed, and Pivot McRed. You will help them plan and execute their phishing campaign. It is time to see if more cybersecurity awareness training is required. Alright, so this will understand what social engineering is, what types of phishing there is, explore how red teams create fake login pages, and using social engineering toolkit to send phishing emails. So in this one, this whole thing is going to be utilizing SET, which SET stands for this social engineering toolkit, right? Okay, perfect. So if here's like what social engineering is, you see these little dots, you can click on them, and TryHackMe has these little cool little dictionary things, a little encyclopedia, if you will. So this gives you a definition, what it is, and this here will tell you more rooms that you can actually access to learn about it. So, the manipulation of individuals to divulge sensitive information through various forms of communication. And you have phishing. Alright, so this little terminal here, you can just hit like enter or you can close out of it. We don't need this terminal. And we're going to double click another terminal. Okay? Perfect. And as you saw over there, we'll need this little guy in a moment. But if you didn't know, you can actually right click on this. Oh, somewhere here in the middle. I can't get it to work. But yeah, I'll show you that later. Alright, so go back to our terminal over here. We're going to go ahead and make it big. And if you also want to show you something at the very top here, that 10.65.156.56, you'll notice that's our IP address. Pretty cool, right? And you can also see it up here. And if you want to see it bigger, click this, you'll see that here. So I want to let you notice that this time we have two machines started. One's our attack box, and that's the one we're in over here. And then we also have a target machine. Alright, just wanted to show you guys that. And you can also see the IP address correlating to either one. And they also showed up here. They've added these new features. It's really amazing. So we'll come down. Alright, it's telling us to go ahead and start these up. And now for our first question. I've successfully started the attack box and target machine. Yes, check. Hey, there we go. Good. So next we're going to drop this down. So this is going to tell us more about social engineering. It refers to manipulating users to make mistakes. Examples of mistakes include sharing passwords, opening malicious files, approving payments. The term social means that the target of such an attack is a human being. We are attacking the human process, not technology, but the human themselves. So not computer systems. Consequently, the attackers rely on psychology tricks to get the target users to cooperate. Some psychologist factors that can key a key role in successful attacks are urgency, curiosity, authority, you know, like your boss or your boss's boss telling you this is to get done, and it's got to get done by the end of today. Or make it something, you know, interesting, like, oh, it's a floppy, or not floppy, a USB flash drive, and it says something like payroll on it, or anything like that nature. Or maybe you could put something like, I don't know, it's supposed to be a little risque, and put something OnlyFans on the side of a flash drive. That may pique someone's curiosity, and they'll plug it in, and guess what? Your network's hosed. Good job. Yeah, so there's different ways of hacking humans. So phishing is a subset of social engineering, like we mentioned earlier. Pretty much, we're going to come down here. There's a lot to read here. You guys can read it yourself. I'm going to try to skim through it so that way we're not taking forever. So I want you to know, phishing is normally when you send an email to hack somebody. But there are other types nowadays. Like if you send a text message, that's via SMS technology. So when you do a text message, it is known as smishing. If you do it over the phone, that is known as phishing. And then another fun one is QR codes. These are fairly recent, and you see these all over the place, and you don't know where they go. And this is known as quishing. So be careful when you scan a QR code that next time you're at a restaurant, and the only way to see the menu is via QR code. Some malicious threat actor could paste their own QR code over it. Yeah, that could be bad. And what could happen is it could download a payload and then redirect you to the real one, and you'd be none the wiser. All right. Remember, everything we're doing here is ethical. Disclaimer, guys. Remember, everything we're doing is ethical. Keep it right. Do good. All right. So, moving onward. So, there's plenty of different ways, but one of the best ways to teach someone for security awareness is to teach them how to do. You know, what was an anti-phishing technique? Is stop. S-T-O-P. So, you see right there. So here's the thing. Is it suspicious? Is it telling me to click something? Is it offering an amazing deal? Click this and get a free Bitcoin, you know? Click here and get 99% off this video game. What? I can get Elden Ring for $1? I don't know. Seems kind of a little sketchy, right? Be aware, especially from a company I never heard of. Yeah. All right, pushing me to do something right now. You have to send the money for this invoice right now. We have to have it before lunchtime, and then it's almost lunch. You have to do it. This is all bad, okay? So continuing onward. The second stop reminds us of these things. One of the best things you can tell your end users to do is to slow down. As practitioners, we need to educate our end users to slow down because threat actors are going to crave and utilize your adrenaline. They're going to take advantage of that. The urgency, you rushing, you rush. You're not thinking straight. Because of that, well, you're going to make bad choices. Okay. Continue onward. Type the address yourself. So when you see like a link or something in the email or wherever, most people will click the link or they'll copy and paste it. Don't do that. Type it out yourself because sometimes you can use characters that look very similar and take you to the wrong spot. Open nothing unexpected. If you haven't verified it, like someone sent you a file, a PDF, I don't know, a PowerPoint, a picture, and you don't ever see this person, you don't try to talk to them, they never see you, this kind of stuff. Question it. Definitely question it. Okay. All right. So prove the sender is real. Look at the look at the phone number, not just the display name. Look at the first part of the name. Look at the last part, like at blah blah blah.com or blah.net or .org, and verify that's real. That's what the actual company uses. Go to like their LinkedIn and look at the people, and they may have their email address associated. Go to the company's website. Verify that's real. Okay. So the idea is for the red team to check, see if the staff can dodge fishy emails. All right, so we're going to be building a trap using, as we mentioned, the software development toolkit. Okay. So if you look down here, there is a script they put for us. So we're going to go right there. So we're going to cd into the squiggly line. I think it's called not tilde, but squiggly line. Into there, to rooms, and then we're going to go to AOC. Remember, the auto talcum feature is amazing, so make sure you use that when you're going through here. That means I'm not doing something right. Alright, I'll just do LS real quick, make sure. Oh, there's plenty of stuff in here, isn't there? Oh, I'm doing... Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not. I'm just going to type it all the way out. See if it works. Yeah, it wasn't auto-completing for some reason. Oh, you know what it was? Watch this. Let's do it again. So I do CD A O. Okay, so what happens, I need to hit tab a few more times, and then it shows me there's multiple of the same name, and you need to explain to it which version you want. And there's so many different years in here, it didn't know which one I wanted. Okay, makes sense. Then we're going to go to CD days and 02. All right, cool. ls. We have an index.html and we have a server.py. Okay, so what's it want us to do? Probably start. It wants us to start it. So that script, we're going to do .whack and then server.py, hit enter. Oh, yeah, don't put a space there. .whack, then server.py, and it fires us up. So it's running on HTTP 0.0.0, so 4 zeros, colon 80, or 8,000. So the 40 means on every interface we have a report, it's running. Okay, cool. So something we're going to do is click up here, and we're going to click Open New Tab. That way we have a new, so this one, that way that service is constantly running, that script, and we can still do other things over here. But now what we're going to do is open up Firefox. So we're bringing up Firefox real quick, and we're going to go to our address, okay? And see, it's telling you that stuff over here, and it tells us that this 1065 for me is my address. But how do I know that? Remember, it shows it up here for us, that right there, that's where we're going. So we're going to type in 10.65.156.56 colon 8000. So 3 zeros, right? And it takes us to this. So this is the phishing site. So if we type something in here, it's going to get sent back to this spot over here. Okay? So it's going to be collecting information. All right. So what do we do now, guys? What do we do? Well, let's find out together. All right, so I notice I'm going to just do some return. So my little head here isn't in your viewing pleasure. I'm sorry if it was previously. I didn't think about that, so my apologies. Okay, so yeah, here we go. The social engineering toolkit. This has a lot more functionality. We're just using a very, very small piece of it, and TryHackMe has done a wonderful job of just guiding you and holding your hand all the way through this, and we're going to go through it together, so I hope you guys enjoy this. It's pretty cool. But remember, everything we do, use it for good, use it where you're only allowed to. When you have authorization in writing, not verbal, make sure you have it in writing, because you want to do CYA. Always protect yourself, right? Protect your assets. Okay, so what we're going to do is type set, and you do the tool, and then kit. And a guy named Dave actually created this some time ago, and I think it was actually in a movie one time, or a show, I can't remember which. But this thing's been out for a long time. But yeah, if you look, they do some fun ASCII art each time you load, so you may get something different than what I got. So let me know in the comments. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, David Kennedy. Yeah, so he's the one that actually wrote this. So if you guys are following along and you get a different ASCII art, tell me what it is in the comments. I'd love to know. It's always fun doing that. Like when we run Metasploit later, it's always something different too. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is a social engineering attack. But as you look, we have social engineering attacks, penetration testing, fast track, third-party modules, updating stuff, blah, 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 right? Right now, we're just focused on one. So we put one, we enter, and next spot. Okay. We're going to let this load a bit. We're going to follow down here along. So yeah, also, if we ever need to go back for any reason, we can do 99. But if we make a commit and it's a bad mistake and we need to just cancel everything and restart from scratch, we will hit Control-C. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But hey, we know, right? So here we are, following along. So we have different things. We do like spear phishing attack vectors, website attack vectors, and infectious media generators, creating payloads and listeners, mass mailer attacks, which I think that's what we're using. Adreno-based attack vectors, wireless access points, attack vectors, QR code generators, PowerShell attack vectors, third-party stuff. I'm kind of skimming through this quick, but you guys can read too and slow down. So we chose one earlier, and now we're doing the mass mailer attack. Okay, cool. So I haven't done this myself yet, but I followed along. I kind of skimmed this real quick before we record this. So if I make mistakes, I do apologize. But hey, this is Saga Learns, and we're learning together. And hopefully you're having a good time. I hope so. So let's continue. All right, so we got here, and I think, oh yeah, here we go. So it's asking us for one of these two options, and we're going to do both of these in a second, all right? So it's going to ask us for the email attack. Who were you attacking? What is the single email that we're focusing? And what is the email attack mass mailer? What do you want to do? We're going to be attacking, I believe, one email instead of a whole bunch, right? Let's see here. So now we should select between the two options. One option allows us to send the phishing to a single address, which is what we're doing, while the other enables to send emails to many people. So like you send it to the whole corporation, or we're going to be focusing on one individual. Right now, we're focusing on one individual. So we'll put one and enter, and that continues. Now, it says send email to who? All right, well, so let's look up here. So if we look through here, we learn that we're going to be targeting this right here, this factory at malware.thm. I'm going to just right click and copy this. If you want to do that, you can right click and paste, and that way make sure there's no typo. And then it says use a Gmail account for your email attack, use your own server, or open relay. And I believe we're going to be using, use your own server. We got to make this look real, okay? So click 2. And then it says what's the address? So this is for the attacker, right? Yeah, believe so. If I mess this up, I don't know what I'm going to say. All right, so anyway, we should be using this address here, which is updates flyingdeer.tryhackme. So if you read here, we know that the guys at the toy factory who we're communicating this email to regularly communicate with the Flying Deer. They are a shipping company, and this is right around Christmas, so this is a good one to impersonate. So we're going to right click and paste that, so it's all good. And we put that there. Okay, my email's, not my email, but my computer acted weird just then, so hopefully I didn't hit enter twice there. Don't think it's registered that. Okay, good. So now it's asking us for the name. We're going to type in Flying Deer as our name. And the username, we're going to put nothing. And for the password, we're not going to put nothing. And now it's going to ask us for the address, which is going to be 10.65.142.220 for me. Probably not for you. You need to choose something different. So I know mine is because of this, the IP address of the target machine right here. Right there. See that? That's what the one we're putting in. So mine's this. You have to put whatever yours is. Okay? So remember, it's different for everyone's instances. You may get mine. You likely won't, but you know. So 10.65, 142, 220 for me, and I enter. And it's going to be asking for the port, which should be 25. And it is. And if you follow along with me over here, it says that right there. Perfect. So what's next? So it's asking us flag this message as high priority. I don't think we're going to. And if you look right here, it's going to ask us all these things. So we're going to tell that no. And it's going to ask us, do you want to attach a file? We're going to say no. And we're going to say no to an inline file. But if you're thinking like a malicious threat actor, would you want to associate a file? Maybe so. Maybe like you said, like maybe throw some spreadsheets in there, some PDFs, maybe a picture or something. And if they click on it, it could drop a payload. It could drop, info stealers. It could set up a reverse shell back to your machine. Maybe you're setting up C2 infrastructure or something to do a second payload, and call back later. Okay, so anyway, now it's asking us for the email subject. So what do they say? Oh, that's a good one right here. They're saying we should do like shipping schedule changes, especially right before Christmas. This could get very hairy for the elves if they can't get all the shipping done in time. But they're on a tight schedule and we're right there, at the cutoff. So send this message as HTML or plain. You see, we're going to do just plain. And you see how the P is in brackets? Then That just means that we default to that. Okay, cool. And then what's that? Okay, when finishing, type in all caps and hit return. Oh, so right now we're typing the body. So this is where we craft our message to create urgency and make them curious or throw authority over them. This is where we have to abuse human emotions and behaviors and manipulate it, to the social engineering part, to get them to do the action that we request. And we're going to have to input the IP address, the address that we had in our Firefox earlier. Remember that? Okay. Which again, it's our IP address of our attack box, which I have up there with the colon 8000. Okay, cool. And luckily they put it down here for us to make life really, really easy. So if you look down here, we can look, follow what they did, and we'll just kind of copy what they did. I know, not that original, right? I'll put, please note. Yeah, so you can make typos and you're fine. Please note that there have been significant changes. And I guess we can do a... Oh, I can't see the whole line, can I? Yeah, the little scroll here. That's nice. Yeah. Alright, changes to the shipping schedule. There we go. Yeah, I want to just copy what they said. Makes it sound good. Because we're trying to trick these elves into clicking our link. And then once they do, they're going to see that Firefox page that we brought up earlier. And hopefully they input their credentials. Shipping schedule due to increased shipping orders. I'm going to enter, so we drop to a new line. Now remember, if you're doing this as a real phishing, make sure you don't have typos or misspellings. Double check all this really well, because that's another way to trigger that. An end user's like, that doesn't seem legit. They shouldn't be errors there, and that may trigger them to think more like, is this legitimate? Is this wrong? Because then you're getting them to stop. And remember, once they stop, they can figure out that you're a fish, which we want them to. And maybe you want to put a typo here and there for like a low-level attack to see, you don't want to be super grueling and make your end users go through like Dark Souls in the beginning. Give them something a little easier, like Mario Brothers 1, something that's not as grueling and destroying and soul-crushing, right? Even though later on they'll level up and get to that, and that can be fun. But we have to start off soft with them, We can't just break their spirit. All right, so now we're going to put the last part of this. So we're going to say, please confirm the new schedule, which works pretty good. Remember, spell things right. By end of today. By end of today, which we're going to put here, we're going to put Tuesday, the 2nd, 2025, so that shows them they have to do it now. Again, that urgency. Take advantage of them. All right, remember, ethics, guys. And then we're going by today, by today, we're going to do HTTP, whack, whack, and we're going to type our address. Remember, your address will be different than mine, most likely, so verify what you're typing is correct, okay? So let me make double check on mine. 1065, 156. Okay, 56. Okay. The 156, the 156, and the dot 56 got me tripped up for a second. Okay, then I should hit enter. I want to put like best regards, flying deer, and then we're going to do in all capital letters. Once we do that, that's it. Finish sending the email. So it's sent email. We enter one more time. Boom. Okay, awesome. So now, if we come back over here to our other tab, oh my gosh, look at that. So sometimes you have to wait, sometimes it's going to be real fast. You may have to wait like a minute or two, because you have to wait for the email to get sent, then you got to wait for them to type their stuff in, and this person was an admin, and there's their password right there. So if you look here, don't ignore these first two. That was me when I first visited the site. Anyway, but right here, you'll see there's a 200, which is like a success. Okay, so HTTP has different error message codes. There's 100 series, 200 series, 300 series, 400 series, and 500 series. 400, this is like, 44, which is, page not found. 300 series mean like a redirect. So you'll learn that the 400 and 500 mean either a client error or a server error, but that'll be for another day. 200 normally means success, okay? And that'll come more handy when we get into like web exploitations. Anyway, so there's a password. Pretty cool, right? Unranked wisdom. Can I? Oh, I can't do that, darn. All right. Unwisdom anthem, it looks like. So what's the... Come on down. Okay. What is the password used to access the portal? So apparently, this should be the password. So let's just do that. We'll right click and copy. And we'll paste that in here. And hey, we got it, guys. Okay, we're leveling on up. So now we need to browse to this site here, which again, this is going to be the target machine's address, right? So if you click here, you can actually copy that IP address, come up here and paste it. And I will say, a lot of these commands, you can, right click, copy, paste, right click, copy and paste, which is great and it makes things a lot faster. But in the long run, it's going to be better if you type things manually, because you're going to see mistakes. You're going to learn more as you keep typing the same commands over and over. They're just going to help it become second nature to you. And that's what's going to push you forward in this world. All right, so anyway, so we're typing the password, and then, or we typed admin as username, and we're going to, oh, we need to go get that password again. This one right here. Oops, so we're going to wipe that out, because I think that's the IP address. So silly me. Thing's going a little slow. Oh, there we go, okay. For a moment, the thing was a little laggy. Sometimes these attack boxes and such, their VMs do get slow. But you gotta say, TryHackMe has done a wonderful job, right? They've set up attack VMs, they set us the target VMs up. That's interesting. It failed. Try again. There we go. Task login up here at the top. I think it's directing us in. So hopefully this works. Maybe I need to just type it out manually, right? Oh, wait. It says, from within the attack box, try to access the mailbox of factory. Maybe we're not trying to access admin. See? Look what happens when you read, guys. Why do you believe in what I'm saying? Read for yourself. You can't trust anyone on the internet, right? Okay, cool. So, hey, look. Flying deer, that's the one that we sent. Cool. Yeah, look at that. And they clicked that right there, and they got hosed. Don't let that be you or your users. Guys, users don't like being phished. They don't like security awareness training. But in GRC, we are trying to modify people's behavior. And that is how we will beat the bad guys, the threat actors. Because the weak spot is humans. Alright. So what do we got? The user to see the previously harvest admin password has been reused, and it was. So fantastic. What is the total number of toys expected? So that's something else right here what they said. Password reused. Generally, if you find one password, keep that in your notes, and you try it on almost every other account you find later on, because a lot of engagements you're going to find that. Most of the Hack the Box or CTS I've done, password reuse in one way or another fashion happens a lot. And there's like things like Hunter.io where you can get, the leaks and dumps from like the dark web, sorry. And you find maybe their personal account password, and a lot of times it will forward over and actually be their work business, their business password, their work password. It's a lot of times the same as their personal, like what they had for Netflix or something. So keep that in mind. Don't reuse passwords, guys. Don't. So this is something about units right out here. Let's see if that's it. Let's see. That was it. I'm curious. Look at this sleeping mug, guys. Oh. Huh. Oh, that's a long email. Well, if you guys want to read this and let me know if you find anything interesting in here, that'd be cool to let me know in the comments too. Marta? Marta. Wasn't somebody named Marta in The Grinch? The Jim Carrey Grinch? I think. Or the original one? Marta Woohoo, Hoo Woohoo. Gosh, I can't remember the names. Oh well, silly me. All right, so then, and if you enjoyed this, feel free to check out another room. We'll see phishing prevention. You can go ahead and click that if you wish. But that is it for today. So you click that, and bam, look, leveling up. Woohoo! Look at that, guys. So if you like achievements, TryHackMe does have that, as you can see here. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. It's a good place for beginners to learn. Hack the Box is another good place to level up your skill set, but I wouldn't recommend Hack the Box right away. It is much more grueling. It's a little more veteran style feel. TryHackMe definitely holds your hand massively. So that is what I'd recommend, and I think that will be it for today. If you guys have any thoughts, questions, concerns, complaints, please let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you want to follow me on other socials, you can find it on the main channel page. I can't post external links at the moment on this account until I build a little more rapport with YouTube because they don't trust me. But it's just fair. The account is new. And if there's stuff you guys want to see in the future, let me know. But I want to try to keep up with the TryHackMe, Advent of Cyber rooms as we go. And I'm making a playlist as well. So have fun and keep your streak up, guys. Even all you got to do is answer one question a day to keep your streak alive. So do what you can. All right. Bye-bye and be safe. Happy hacking. Be respectful, responsible, be ethical, and stay secure. Bye-bye.